I keep seeing dividend yield on stock screeners. What does it actually tell me?
It tells you how much cash a stock pays you each year compared to its price. Think of it as your annual income rate from owning that stock.
So if a stock costs $100 and pays $4 a year, that's a 4% yield, right?
Exactly. You divide the annual dividend per share by the share price. $4 divided by $100 equals 4%. For every $100 you invest, you get $4 back in cash each year.
Where do those two numbers come from? Is the dividend just what they paid last year?
Good question. The dividend can be trailing, what they actually paid over the past year, or forward, which is what they expect to pay next year. Most sites show trailing by default.
Why does the yield change if the company doesn't change its dividend? I saw a stock's yield jump overnight.
Because yield moves with price. If the dividend stays $4 but the stock drops from $100 to $50, the yield doubles to 8%. Same income, higher percentage, but that's not always good news.
Oh, so a super high yield might mean the stock crashed. Is that the yield trap I've heard about?
Exactly. A yield trap looks attractive, but the company might be cutting dividends soon. Always check if the payout is sustainable. Look at earnings and cash flow, not just the yield number.
Can you give me a real example of a healthy yield versus a trap?
Sure. A utility company with stable profits might yield 3.5% and grow slowly. That's healthy. A struggling retailer with a 12% yield and falling sales is likely a trap. The market smells a dividend cut.
So how do I use yield to build an income portfolio without falling for traps?
Start by targeting a moderate range, like 2% to 5%. Then check the company's dividend history. 10 years of steady or rising payments is a good sign. Also, compare yield to the market average.
What about reinvesting dividends? Does yield matter if I'm not taking the cash out?
Great point. If you reinvest, yield still matters because it compounds your shares. A 4% yield reinvested over decades can significantly boost your total return, even if the stock price barely moves.
Should I chase the highest yield in a sector, or is that too risky?
Don't chase. High yield often signals distress. Instead, look for companies with a payout ratio, dividends divided by earnings, below 60%. That leaves room to maintain and grow the dividend.
What's the single biggest mistake beginners make with dividend yield?
They buy solely on yield without checking the company's health. A 10% yield from a dying business loses you more than a 3% yield from a growing one. Always research the business first.
So what's your actionable advice for someone starting today?
Pick 3 dividend stocks with yields between 2% and 5%, check their payout ratios and dividend history, then set up automatic reinvestment. Start small, stay diversified, and let time do the heavy lifting.